Hello Year 6 and welcome to today's maths video. Let's have a look at what we're going to be doing today. So today our focus is finding 1% and 5% of an amount. Yesterday we looked at how to find 10% of a number. Pause the video and see if you can answer those questions there. So to find 10%, we know that we have to divide by 10. So 10% of 80 is 8. 10% of 800 is 80, and 10% of 8 is 0.8. So let's have a look at finding 1% of a number. The rule for finding 1% of a number is we have to divide by 100. So if I need to find 1% of 200, what is my calculation? My calculation is 200 divided by 100. What is the answer? 2. Which means that 1% of 200 equals 2. Let's look at the next one. Find 1% of 4,000. So what is my calculation? 4,000 divided by 100. What's the answer? 40. Which means 1% of 4,000 equals 40. Now we know the rule that to find 1% we have to divide by 100. Pause the video and have a go at answering those questions there. Okay, let's have a look at our calculations and the answers. So we needed to do 500 divided by 100, which gets you the answer of 5. We need to do 30 divided by 100, which gets the answer of 0.3. And then we need to do 7,000 divided by 100, so the answer is 70. Well done if you got all of those correct. So now we know how to calculate 10% and 1%. How could we use this information to calculate 5%? Pause the video and I want you to see if you can think of a way. And there are two ways, so see if you can challenge yourself. If you think of one way, think of the other way. Right, let's have a look at the first way. Now I think this way is the easiest, but it's up to you which method you choose for finding 5%. So one way we can do this is we can find 10% of the number and then we can halve that. So I have my question here, 5% of 60. So I use what I know. We already know how to find 10% of a number. How do we find 10%? We divide by 10. So what is 60 divided by 10? The answer is 6. But my question isn't 10% of 60. My question is 5% of 60. What do I do to 10% to get to 5%? What do I divide it by? Divide it by 2. Which means I've then got to divide my answer to the 10% by 2. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So that is one way you can do it. To find 5%, you find 10% first and then you halve it. Another way that you could do this is find 1% of the number and then multiply by 5. So how do we find 1% of a number? Well, you already know that we divide by 100. So what is 1% of 60? 0.6. Now, what do I need to multiply 1% by to get 5%? I need to multiply it by 5. So I have to multiply 0.6 by 5. And that gets me the answer of 3. So that's two different methods there. Method 1, find 10% and halve it to find 5%. Method 2, find 1% and then multiply by 5 to get 5%. I want you to choose which method you prefer and have a go at answering those questions there. And let's go through the answers. So you can see here, I've used the method of dividing it by 10 to find 10% and then dividing it by 2 to find 5%. So 800 divided by 10 gives me 80. 80 divided by 2 is 40. let's have a look at the next one. What method have I used here? Well, here you can tell that I've found 10% by dividing by 10, and then I have found 5% by dividing by 2. 4 divided by 10 is 0.4. 0.4 divided by 2 is 0.2. And then let's look at the last one. What method have I used here? 2000 divided by 100. What percentage have I found? I found 1%. That gives me 20. Then I have to multiply that by 5 to give me 5%, which gives me the answer of 100. Well done if you got all of those correct. So how do we use what we've learned over the past 2 days to work out slightly larger percentages? So here I'm looking at 25% of 400. If you think you can have a go at this, pause the video and have a go now. Right, let's go through it. So when we are given larger percentages to find, we use what we know already. So we know already how to find 10%. 10% of 400, what is that? Well, we know we divide it by 10. That gives us the answer of 40. But I want 25%. So I look at my 10% and think, okay, how can I get closer to that 25%? What could I do to my 10%? Well, I know that if I double 10%, if I times my 10% by 2, I'm going to get 20%. So that's then what I do to my answer of 10% here. 40 times 2 gives me 80. So now I know that 20% of 400 is 80. But this still doesn't answer my question because I need 25%. So what is the final step? What do I have to do? Well, I know that 20 add 5 is 25%. So how do I use 10% to work out 5%? Well, I know that I can divide it by 2. I can halve it, which means that I then have to do half divided by 2 by 40, which would give me 20. So now, if I add up my 80 and my 20, what does that give me? That gives me 100. I know that 25% of 400 equals 100. Okay, so that's everything for our maths video today, children. If you've got any questions, make sure you email us and make sure that you complete your to-do. Have a great day.